Hello, my name is Daniel, and today for this 15th broadcast, I'll be your host. Now, today we shall be having one guest, our second guest, Mr. Charles. He has faced a small problem, so he will not be with us today. However, we shall make do and we shall make sure that today you walk away with something new to help you fight this world problem that we have. So, my guest today is Dr. Ruth Musoke. She will come in briefly and then explain who she is. But today's topic is uh, the business view for how we can fight climate change. No, yes. So, Dr. Ruth, you said you wanted to speak to us, so we request you turn on your camera so we can see you, Doctor. Uh, Doctor. So while we wait for the doctor to come on, um, today we're basically discussing how can the business sector join with the fight for climate change? How can the new businesses start up with that view for us to move on within the future whereby we can still make money, but in such a way whereby it won't cost the planet. Uh, Doctor, are you there? Doctor? Doctor?
Yes, Daniel. I think now, for the meanwhile, share with us
Yes.
about the previous episodes, what we should expect
There,
from the Brain Talk Show. Yeah, I think Doctor is here now. Please.
Yes, Doctor. Doctor?
yes.
Yes, may you turn on. Yes, may you turn on your film so we can see you. And Doctor?
Very bad. I'm trying to. Um,
Yes.
I'm there, and we have issues with normally with the internet all the time in this country. But I hope
So
that
sorry.
in the few minutes people can be able to hear what I'll be able to say.
Yes. So, Doctor, may you start by explaining to all those who are here uh, to explain who you are and then um, what you do.
Um, First of all, I want to say I am here and I hope I can be able to be heard. I was telling the host that I rarely do shows in the evening, but because in my heart I said, okay, I have seen you people trying to push this initiative. And I said, okay, what can I do to support the initiative? And it's one of the reasons I said I need to come and do this, just because everybody needs a push in life. And for me, I thought it's a very good hands up to make sure that I come in and talk to people at this particular time. I do so many things in various capacities. I have been supporting skilling initiatives for the past 6 years, and I've been working with a lot of young people for the past 6 years. I work at Private Sector Foundation Uganda as a project director, but also serve in different capacities. I have just been appointed as the chair of the Council of the Directorate of Industrial Training, and also I am on the board of the Presidential Economic CEO Forum, which is quite new and quite a key institution. And also, I sit on the board of Makerere University Holding Company, which manages all the property for the university. But also in the private life, I share and also Footsteps Furniture, but also Uganda Funeral Services. I'm on the board of those particular companies. I have been speaking. I'm a trainer, I'm a motivator, and I thought that tonight it would be something interesting to talk to you on an interesting subject on the Green Talk, green jobs, and what you can do as a young person. So that is what I'm looking out to speaking to you about this evening. Yeah. And I don't know if I just proceed with what I have to say.
No, 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 no. So first off, for the viewers, we want to know: Are you a medical doctor? Are you some PhD holder? May you explain?
No, I am not. I'm not a medical doctor. I am a specialized. I'm a private sector development specialist with training in business administration, entrepreneurship, and accounting. It's a combination of various areas of training.
Okay,
And I'm
okay.
41 years.
Wow. Okay, okay. So,
With a daughter next to me here who's in year 11. She's called Heidi Ruth Musoke. She's just near me here, who has been able to help me set this up because I told her I don't use this. I'm used to Zoom, I'm used to WebEx, I'm used to Teams. And she was like, okay, let me help you set it up. So, and she was telling me something about the Green Talk. So that's quite interesting.
okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
so wanted us to start with, well, what is your view on global warming? Yes, ma'am.
View is that what I'm going to do, I am going to try as much as possible to just share with you what I have because I know sometimes I have issues with my internet. I don't want people to miss me out. So it's far much better that I say what I have to say. I have to say that the issue of global warming is actually real. It is not something we should be able to take for granted. The only thing is that sometimes people do not understand it in a layman's perspective. They sometimes think it's about countries that are into, for example, that have the winter seasons and maybe summer and whatnot, and they no longer get the ice and all that. So sometimes we have a challenge that people do not understand that even in Uganda, the issue of global warming are real. People would not relate what this has to do on the climate. They would not understand that before it was very possible for a Ugandan to determine a season. For example, if I was growing coffee or if I was growing banana or maize, I would be able to tell the season. I would be able to know when it's going to rain and when it will not rain and when it is going to be a dry season. Now, right now, and that was because by that time, people used to care more about the environment. There wasn't a lot of deforestation. There wasn't a lot of cases whereby we are not actually conserving our environment. And what is happening right now is that people complain that these days it takes long to rain. Last time I was in the village and people were saying it's no longer predictable. And that is the simplest way that people can be able to understand that actually, because the world, the environment is changing, is being degraded, we cannot be able to manage it the way it was. And that is the simplest way. And I think what young people need to do is to just understand that they are currently the change makers. They are the change agents. They are the people who are able. Yesterday, I was in a board meeting in a certain company, and I was telling them it's a profit-making company. I was telling them, if you want your future clients, you need to go to universities and secondary schools. Why? Because these are the future. If you are able to convince them and understand them, by the time they get to university, by the time they get into the employment, they are able to be changers. And for me, I am very glad because you have said a number of these people on this platform are young people. The future is in the young people. It is you to make things happen. It is you to make the right decisions. If we all move around and we see people cutting trees, it is us to say it should stop. It is us to say that whenever I go and visit my village, I would make sure I encourage everybody to plant a tree. It is you to say that, you know what, you don't have to always cut a tree for firewood. Let us look at alternative means of how we can be able to make food using simple means. It's you to tell your parents, your grandparents, your sisters that we have cases whereby we can use renewable energy. And for me, these are very critical. It is you, even things that help us in preventing degradation of the environment. For example, some of us do not care about disposal. And then we end up throwing, polythene bags, rubbish, and all that everywhere. And I think it is us to say, we need to see how do we dispose of. We teach people and say at home you can have a can for plastics. You can have a can for glasses. You can have a can for this. Those are very simple things you can do at home. And these simple things we can recycle. You can recycle your. I don't know if some of you have seen recycled necklaces. You've seen them in paper, but you can even recycle. You had a sister who had kids at home, a kid, and you had old clothes. You can actually recycle, dye them, and have beads and have waist chains. You get it. You can actually use glass, recycle glass, and have something out of glass. You can do toys. You can do toys, and this is something you can make money out of. There are many things that you can do. You can do plants. Do you know what would happen if you get plastic, things in plastic and you make tags for workshops? Young people should be able to think and be able to challenge people. Challenge us, challenge people. I don't know where I fall because I'm 41. I am not too old and I'm not young. So I am confused where I fall. You get it? And in Uganda, people would say I am young. I am not young. All right? And I'm talking to you. Please challenge the leaders. If there is a workshop, let us challenge people to use recycled things. And these things have to be done by women, by young people. You get it? We need to challenge PPDA, public procurement, to ensure that when they are procuring, they are evaluating and giving marks. Things done out of recycled items should actually be able to be given priority. And for me, this is extremely, very important. And I see a lot of opportunities for young people. I can tell you, the period we are in now, many companies are appreciating issues on climate change. It is extremely very possible to think about a very small business as young people. Form clubs. You already have clubs at school. Form clubs and do products that conserve environment. It is extremely very possible. We should encourage people to use dyes that do not spoil the environment. And this can be from leaves, and these are things that can easily be done. And importantly, we need to participate in campaigns to ensure every function that we do in Uganda, whether it is by the president, remind him, Mr. President, have you planted a tree? If you are able to do that, you're able to invite, tell anybody you can never be a member of parliament if you don't plant a tree. And the MPs should even be given large numbers. It's not only one. If you're getting to 40 million, why? Then it is equivalent to 40 million. Every million and maybe we should say every 100,000 and should be equated to a tree. And I think that is how we need to look at things. Otherwise, the future is in our hands. We don't want to make sure that people live and they live with us a very bad future. And also, as we speak to our parents, our grandmothers, and as young people, we don't want to farm. We need to learn farming. All of us want to be in the city. We think farming is old-fashioned. We think it is for old people. But I can tell you, there is money in farming. And for you as a young person, you can now do farming, green farming. People are interested in green farming, where you farm while you're conserving the environment. The reason why you see people are using funny ways of farming, they burn bush, they burn trees, and they farm. People should be able to know that it is very possible to do farming while you're conserving the environment and while you're planting within trees. These are the things you need to learn. Apart from teaching them how to plant trees, please go into that and do it. There is money in farming. Why? Because the jobs are not so many. They are very few. And I wanted to encourage young people to look at it. In some of your talks, bring people that are able to teach people how to do green farming. Because me, I think it is an area. There are so many development projects right now that are interested in innovations by young people for green jobs. So take it as a priority. Why? Because I know it can work and I know it is something that is very, very doable. And I want to say something that as you do all these things as young people, there are people who are going to tell you you are confused. There are people who are going to tell you you don't know what you're doing. Just close your ears. Don't listen. Don't lose focus. Just get there, because at the end of the day, you'll be able to reach there. And the moment you're there, they will be able to ask, how did he bypass us? But when you're there, and that is why I'm encouraging all of you that are listening to me, that once you have a cause, go for it. I always share a story. When my father told me one day that, please, you're going to lead, I was only 18 years. 18 years of age, I said it is not possible. He had a meeting, these local meetings. He told me, I want you to go to this local meeting. And then he told me, and when we go to that meeting, you are going to lead, you're going to stand and be the chairperson. I said, I can't, because all the people were 50 years, 70 years, 55 years, 40 years. I said, how can I? I'm just 18 years. I was hardly 14 kilos. I think I was so small, even smaller than the host. So I said, how am I going to do this? I can't. But he told me, go for it. They wanted leaders in the community. I said, I'm going to do it. And I stood. I convinced them. But of course, you know how Ugandans are. When you're so small, you're so little, it gives you a lot of time to convince them. I stood, and for chairperson, they said, no, you're too small, you're so young, we are not going to give you. And they wanted other committee members. So my dad said, please go and stand again. Convince these guys to give you the vote. I did stand. When I went to the committee, they wanted the committee to manage finances. I talked to them and I told them, please give me the vote. And they said, now you wait, not yet. And again, but remember the first time when I was the chairperson, we were 3 candidates. I was number 2. I was number 2, they didn't give me. I went to the committee, they didn't give me. I went to the audit committee, the last committee was audit. My father told me, please go and stand for this committee, the last chance. And when I stood, they gave me. I sat on the audit committee. And that is how my journey started. When I started working, fortunately, the NGO Plan International, that was in 1998, Plan International said, okay, let's try, we need somebody to coordinate. Now, the gentleman who became the chairman said, I am resigning to go and become the coordinator. And the position of actions, I was number 2. So I became a chairperson at 18 years, and a chairperson of over 600 members. That is how I became a chairperson at 18 years of age. And I can tell you, I drove that initiative, that even Plan International, even DFID called me by that time in 1990. And that's why I'm speaking to you. And that is how I continued with my journey as a leader. Why did I bring this back to you? It's because for me, it was my dad that gave me that hands up. When I was telling people, I am going to study, I'm going to go to university, they didn't believe me. Indeed, I went to university. I even did a BCom on government. I was among the best people in my school. And indeed, I'm here now. But just imagine now they see me on TV, they see me here, they see me here. But 40, so many, because now I'm 41, I was 18 years. 23 years ago or 24 years ago, they did not believe in me. And that is why I'm saying that they might not believe in you, but your fruits will be seen 10 years from now. So don't give up. Just don't give up. Even when they say no, it is okay. Go ahead and do it. That is what I wanted to say.
Now, my next question for you, but first off, thank you so much for that story. I am sure that our viewers have learned something. But um, when COVID-19 came, it showed that there were a lot of problems with the society, with how we've been running things. So, how do you propose that we can build forward better? Because, like you said, farming within Uganda is a very crucial role. So, how do you propose that the youth can use this chance while we recover from COVID-19 to forward better?
Yes. Um, I I think what I have to say is that COVID has come with its challenges, but also it has also come up with its opportunities. I think at the moment, right now, many people are more active on social media and more active on the TV than before. And I think that as young people, you can actually be able to push more your campaign on social media because people are more, it's much more easier for young people. I want you to use more engagements like Rotary, various Rotary organizations, and give them and ask them to be, instead of using your own show here, which is extremely very good, but also look for other shows. For example, Professor Balunywa every Saturday has over 1,000 people, over 1,000 on his platform. And I can talk to him to make sure you go there and speak to these people about this cause. What you need to do now is to become change makers because people are listening. It's for you to come up with initiatives which companies can be able to buy and invest in as CSR. They can even use you as change agents. So for me, I think this is the right time. More than ever, this is the right time to do for you to make a change at the minimum cost possible. Because before, all of us never used to use virtual meetings. We never used to use online, engagements. And online engagements are much more easier for young people to get to. And I think that for me, this is the time for you to do it. If it means writing a poem, if somebody wrote a poem about being Museveni side dish and got the audience, make a distraction using environment, and people would be able to hear it and appreciate it. And this is the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what are the blocks that we have been facing to really promote as promoting more green jobs?
Um, I am actually working in my initiatives that I do at Private Sector Foundation Uganda, and even actually right now initiative, which actually I want you to be part of, where we are supporting companies to embrace green jobs, but also encouraging them to take young graduates from universities. We are launching this program for young graduates. It's called a Ready to Work program, where we are taking people from all universities of all trades, and we will be paying their salaries for 6 months on condition that companies are able to employ them for at least 2 years. And this goes to companies that are appreciating green jobs. So for me, this is a very good opportunity. And I think if we have a number of people that are already here and they are part of this program, which we are hoping to be launching around December or January, it will be very good because we want young people to be ambassadors in these companies and be able to appreciate and talk to them about green jobs. Now, the challenge is people don't understand what green jobs are. and what they need to do, what it means to have green jobs. And for me, I see that is where the gap is. Some think that when they are green jobs, you have to paint them green instead of yellow. Instead of, they don't understand what it means. What does it mean to have green jobs? And I think that is the biggest talk that we need to have. All right. And I believe, I suppose, if we engage, if we work with Federation of Uganda Employers, because they have been leading some of these initiatives, and be able to make workers and employers understand that when we talk about green jobs, we are talking about green jobs that are creating jobs for everybody. We are not talking about green jobs that are creating jobs for some people. And I think that is where the gap is.
Doctor, hello.
Conserve or mitigate any. Yes? Are you hearing me?
You had broken, so may you please repeat your statement?
I'm even lucky that you're still listening to me because my internet has been so bad. That is why I was trying to say whatever I have to say in the shortest time possible. I didn't even think I would reach this time.
Well,
So I
let's.
was just saying that companies don't understand green jobs. When you say green jobs, they don't understand. And I said they sometimes think that you have to paint the jobs green instead of yellow. And I think there's some more homework to do about it on what green jobs are. What does it mean for companies to be able to appreciate processes and activities that appreciate and conserve the environment, but also mitigate any impacts effects on the climate. And I think there is a lot of homework to do there. There's a lot of homework, and I want to thank you very much. To be sincere with you, I have been touched with the initiative of planting a tree that you have, and I know that it's being felt because I've felt it, I've seen it, I have seen the energy that you guys are putting in, and I think one day you will be appreciated. The God you serve is watching, but also the Ugandans that you serve are seeing what you're doing. So don't give up. And I think we need to lobby more companies to work with you, to support you. We need to work with the cultural leaders, religious leaders. You have seen, for example, various cultural leaders like in Buganda. If now you go for an introduction, you plant a tree. And I think that if we have a call by all churches for one day and say every mosque, this we are dedicating this Friday for all Muslims in the country to plant a tree. We dedicate a day for every Christian to plant a tree. And for me, I think that would be interesting. Even if you say that every time you graduate a child, you plant a tree. So I think that that would actually be quite interesting as well. Yeah.
Um, uh, Let me get your view for one more thing. Now, within today's Uganda, we see people who are making lucrative deals from environmentally dangerous ventures like charcoal making. They are indeed making money for them, but at the end of the day, it is damaging the environment, which will cause them future problems. So, you, doctor, hello,
Yes,
dear,
I lost you. Hello?
hello, yes, yes, yes. Um, yes. While we were sharing, before you broke off, we had
Uh,
said that there are uh various people who are engaging within
in town.
lucrative
Yeah,
business
yeah.
deals,
Mm.
but they are environmentally damaging. They don't see the danger of it now, but 10, 20 years from now, they will feel its pinch. So how do we convince
Mm.
the
I think what I have to say that what I
layman?
have to say first of all, I'm sorry. I went off. My battery went low. I have not had
Uh,
power, and my laptop. Somebody charged for me, and it went to 5-0. Now I'm using my daughter's phone. So just to try and we have the chat. You see, one of the things that we have to know is that we have to be realistic and see how we can engage government to help us sort out a number of these issues. The reason why people go into charcoal business is because they look at it as survival and because they don't know the impact it has when they cut the trees. You know, the person cutting the tree doesn't really have that feeling of what it means if they cut a tree, what it means to the environment. And I think what we need to do is to promote innovative options. For you know, for example, if you have people staying in Kampala, if you don't use charcoal, is it affordable to use gas? Is it affordable to use electricity? Do we have a way of supporting clean cooking stoves, for example, that maybe don't use charcoal and maybe use very little? You don't have to use much, or they use recycled, you know, they use briquettes and all that. I think what we need to do as young people is to look for innovative alternatives. You need to think through and think about what innovative, cheaper, affordable alternatives. So as you push and engage government and the various stakeholders and talk about how bad it is to use charcoal, say it is bad to use charcoal, it has these effects, and we can use this other option. It's actually cheaper, it can create more employment, and it can be affordable. All right. And I think that that for me would be something quite interesting because I know a lot of people. I have a number of young people that I live with and I support, and they will tell you, I cannot afford to use this other alternative. Why? Because I find it extremely very expensive. We have been seeing a number of donors and development partners that have been promoting clean cooking stoves at an affordable price. You see, a clean cooking stove is quite expensive compared to the normal rate. And we need to think about how do we make it more affordable to more Ugandans? How can we have more young people go into such businesses and maybe you guys have the brains, come up with cheaper ones and better ones? For me, that would be quite interesting. What other options can we have instead of charcoal? And these options are a little bit more affordable. That for me could actually create a very, very good alternative. Because once you go to those communities where they have been into charcoal, burning, and you give them alternative ways of livelihood, I can tell you it can stop. Enforcement alone is not the answer, because even when you enforce, people can go ahead and do something opposite. So I think we need to do a little bit much more. We have to do a little bit more. The same way that government has been putting their money for various things, for COVID, for youth livelihood, for Myoga, for parish development model. I think we need deliberate efforts to have a fund for climate change, pro climate change, options for renewable energy, especially that can be able to to support innovations into the sector. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I
So,
think.
so I thank you so much for sharing with us. Oh, ma'am, hello. Um, dear guests, hello. Uh, have we lost the doctor? So while we wait for the doctor to return, l- let me read some views. So, um, Miss Rona, doctor.
But
Doctor?
yes, I'm there. But let's just try to wind up because my internet is becoming so bad.
Oh, sorry. So,
Yes, I'm there. I'm there.
yes.
Oh,
So
so yes, so
let's round
uh,
this now. Uh,
let's
do
round
you have
this now.
something you would
Do
like
you
to
have
share
something you would like to share
with us?
with
Uh,
us?
um, I think I was talking about, I wanted to talk about the program that we are launching with the European Union for young graduates and the fact that you've told me you have a number of young people on the platform. It will be very good for them to at least know, knowing that.
May you
May you
speak up?
speak up?
Hello, are you hearing me?
We need you to speak
We
a
need
bit
you
louder.
to speak a bit louder.
Let me see. I'm using somebody's phone, so
Hello?
I want to see if the volume can be put
Hello?
up. Okay. I don't know if I can be heard, and I'm really, really sorry. I really, I'm into a bad shape at home. So I said, I want to say that I wanted to make sure that people who are listening are able to know about the Young Graduate Ready to Work program that we have for young people, supporting green jobs in companies. And we want to take on 1,000 young people and place them in companies. So I would love to see if we are able to see anybody that has graduated for not more than 2 years and is interested in working in various companies. There will be opportunities for that. And the reason why this group is quite interesting is because we want to promote green jobs in companies. And we are saying we need to take champions, young graduates that we are trained in these areas and they are able to go and work in these companies in their own specialty. If you're in marketing, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, you are, for example, a human resource expert, and whatever it is, all those opportunities will be available. We hope that this program will be launched around December or January, and there will be a website where people can be able to apply. And I think that the fact that people already appreciate green jobs in this particular fora, it would actually help us push the agenda in these companies. As indicated to you before, the companies are able to choose the students the graduates that they want. We will assist the companies to pay for the salary, the beginning salary. If the beginning salary of a company is, let's say, 2 million or 1.5 million, we pay for that for 6 months in all sectors. And then after that period, the condition is that the companies have to confirm that they will be able to employ after that period the students for at least 2 years. So I am looking forward to having you guys go on this program, some of you. But also at PSFU, we do support a lot of initiatives in the area of green energy, green jobs, and I want to encourage you to be able to. We have a program currently for which relates to COVID, and we'll be launching it out in the next coming few months. And I hope that next year as well, we'll be launching another program. But we always give priority to issues that have green jobs, to issues that mitigate the climate. We give them actually priority and even extra marks. We look at issues that affect the environment very, very critically, and we support such initiatives. So I'm looking forward, and please check my blog. You can check my blog, Ruth Biyinzika. I have a lot of motivation talks there. Look at them, get to my chat, get to my Twitter. Please follow me up. I'm always on KFM every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm always on KFM, the hot seat. The only woman there, the only lady there on the talk show. And I'm not scared anyway. So I'm just ending by telling you young people that please go on with your causes. Don't give up. I know you might find challenges, but please, even when you fail, just know it's not only you. The battle is not yet over, and you can be able to make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much for
speaking.
speaking.
I am sure that we've learned something. Eh, 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 eh. And my dear viewers, for today, we shall surely make sure that we follow this. And once this foundation starts, we shall share with you the details so you can sign up. Thank you all for watching, and my hope is that you've learned something. Um, Blessed night, and thank you. Bye bye.